Jai Hind everyone. Today this series I am going to discuss structure in C. It is also a very important topic in the subject programming for problem solving. Now today we are going to discuss the definition of a structure, how to initialize a structure, access various elements within a structure, and type def. So the question arises, why structure? In the previous lecture, I have discussed arrays. So we discussed that arrays are the collection of similar data types. Arrays are helpful in creating a data in form of list. But when we discuss about the real-time examples, what we require is the form of data in the form of record, not a simple list. Arrays are creating a list of similar type, but structures are creating the list in the form of record. So we can say the collection of related variables under one name is nothing but structure. So structure is a collection of different data types, because as a record contains multiple columns and multiple fields or columns are of different types, so structures are similar to those. Structures are creating such type of data only. So these are commonly used to define records to be stored in files. Means we can store data in the form of records. For example, if I take the student data, in the student data, what I want to record, what I want to store in memory, I want to store student name, roll number, the class in which he studies, various subjects, percentage, and each and every data have different type. Name will be of character type, roll number is of integer, marks are of float, subjects are of character type. So while using array, all these columns are inserted separately. But with the help of structure, we can create all columns in a one click. Now, how to define a structure within the C program? The syntax for the structure is, we use struct keyword. First of all, struct keyword is written. After that, tag name. The tag name written here is totally optional. There is no compulsion that we write this tag name. So it is the user choice. He wants to write the tag name, he can write, otherwise he can skip it. The tag name helps to identify us or distinguish between multiple structures created within a program. So if a program contains multiple structure, it is better to define the tag name. So we will go with the tag name only for this lecture. So syntax for a structure is struct keyword. After that, tag name, which is the name of structure. This name can be anything, any name which user wants to give. Next, within the curly brackets, different elements of structures are being declared. For example, this element can be your name, your age, your roll number, marks, anything. Whatever definition or whatever type or whatever kind of record user wants to create, he can define all the elements within the structure definition. For example, we are taking the example of student data. So for student data, we are creating three different fields. One is roll number, second is age, and third is name. Now roll number of a student is of type integer. So data type of roll number is integer. Age is also of type integer. Next, name is of type character array. So name has been created as character array. So while we are defining this structure, a record has been created, a data type has been created, which will include roll number, age, and name of the student. Next, how to declare variables of type structure. So in the previous slide, we saw that we have created a structure of student, which contains three different fields. Now, next is to define the variable, declare a variable. As a student has been defined as a data type by the user, now we have to use that data type for storing data. And for this purpose, we need to declare the variable. So as usual, we use primitive data types. In the similar way, we can declare the variables of structure type. So for this, data type, variable name. That is the normal pattern for declaring the variables. But here, data type is nothing but the user defined data type. So user defined data type is being declared as struct, structure name, and then variable name. So for our example, we will declare struct student S. So S is a variable whose data type is student, which is being defined in the previous slide. Now, as soon as we are declaring this variable S, this kind of memory is being allocated. That is s.role, s.age, and remaining for the character type name. Next, now how to initialize, how to use this data. So all the structure members, all the structure variables which are being defined within the structure are accessed with the help of dot operator. For example, if I want to store data within the roll number, age, and name, how will I initialize those variables? With the help of this dot operator. So s.roll is equals to 3, which means 3 is being stored at roll number. Next, 18, s.age means age will consider the value 18. Next, s.name equals to Ram means the name of student is Ram. So as soon as I define these three statements, that these three values are initialized, how will this stored in memory? Like this. First of all, s.roll 3 will be stored, at age 18 will be stored, and at name Ram will be stored. So as soon as we are going to initialize the values, in the same way the data will get stored in the memory. Now, the main thing or the difference of initializing values using a structure variable is this dot. For initializing any variable which is being defined within the structure, we have to use this dot operator. Without using dot operator, we cannot initialize any value within the structure. So, structure variable dot the field name which is to be initialized. So, s dot roll. S is the structure variable, dot operator is used, and it is storing value in roll. So, integer type data is being stored as the roll number. Next, we can also initialize the data in a single statement like this. Here it is written struct student S is equals to, within curly braces it is written 3, 18 and Ram. The main thing while initializing the values of structure variables in this way is the sequence. In whatever sequence we have defined the structure variable, in the same sequence we have to provide the values here. Means the order in which we have declared the variables within the structure definition. For our example, we have taken the order. First is roll number, then age, and third is name. So, first data will be stored as roll number, second data will be stored as age, and third will be stored as name. So, the sequence will remain same as we have defined within the structure. It will not take the data in random order. So, while initializing in this way, we have to remember the order of structure variables. Next, we will discuss how to write a program using structure. So, when we are defining the structure within the program, we try to define or declare the structure outside main so that it can be used as a global data type for the program. we can define structure within the main and outside the main. But when we are declaring the structure within the main, the scope of a structure is limited to main only. And when we are defining a structure outside the main, the scope of a structure is global, which means if we are using any of the functions within the program or any other part of the program can also access this structure variable. So we will continue with our example. We have to store data for the student. So structure type student has been created. We have written a struct keyword. Name of the structure is student. And what is the definition here? Integer roll number, integer age, and char name 10. So roll number, age, and name. We are going with these three fields only. Now this definition is being terminated. Now within the main function, what we have to do? We have to declare the variable of student. So struct student is nothing but the data type. S is the variable of type student. Now as we do normal programming, we will simply ask user for entering the input value in various fields. So printf enter the data of student. Now the change occurs here while we are taking input from the user. When we are using normal variable, if I write int a and I want to take value from user, what I will write? I will write scanf %d and a. Means normally address of variable a, and whatever value is input by user is being stored in a. But as we are discussing a structure, how to access variables which are declared within a structure? With the help of dot operator. So here we will provide the address like s dot roll. So address of s dot roll, which means roll number, the address of roll number is being provided here. Next, similarly s dot age. Next s dot name. So it means that whatever variable which is being declared within the structure can be accessed with the help of a structure type variable only with the help of this dot operator. If we forgot to put this dot operator, we cannot store data within these three variables. And in the similar way, we can print the data. So for printing the data, we have written the data of student is, and in the next line, we have printed the data in the form of roll number, age, and name. And see, we have defined variables as s.roll, s.age, and s.name. The dot operator is very much important because it is the only way to access data and to store data within the structure type variable. Next, how to calculate the size of the structure. As soon as we are defining the structure, as we can see in this particular example, we have taken a structure char int. Here we have described C1, character C2 and int I. And a structure type variable foo is created. Now what is going to be the size of this structure? How can we calculate how much bytes this structure will occupy in memory? So as soon as this structure variable has been created, the number of bytes which memory will have is the total number of bytes of all the variables which are being declared within the structure. Means for this case, we have declared three variables. One is of type char, which occupies 1 byte. Another is also of char, which will occupy 1 byte. Another is of type int, which occupies 4 byte. So minimum size of this structure is 6 bytes. Now, here it is written size of structure can be calculated as sum of size of all the fields. All the fields means all these three variables which are being defined, which are being declared within the structure definition, plus alignment padding. This alignment padding is dependent on processor and compiler. Means this value is 2 byte or 1 byte. It is being decided by the compiler. So, alignment padding is done between the various data types. Means as we can see, we have two fields of character type and one field is of type integer. So padding is done between the character type and integer type data. So within this example, we have considered 2 bytes of padding in this structure. So the total size of a structure is now 8 bytes. So we can calculate the minimum size of a structure by adding all the bytes of the declared variables within the structure. But maximum size, that is the final size, is being based on the compiler, as this padding bit is decided by the compiler only. So it is up to the compiler whether it is declaring it 1 byte or 2 byte. So minimum size can be defined verbally as 1 plus 1 plus 4 for this particular example. Otherwise, with the help of size of operator, you can calculate the size of a structure for your program. Next, we have array of structures. Now, what are array of structures? We have discussed arrays. Arrays are the collection of similar data types. Here we are talking about array of structures, which means the data type of array is now structure. The property of array will not change. The array will store only same data type only, but the data type of array is structure. So how to declare array as a structure? For this particular example, we have taken the example for book. So for a book, the important fields can be name, price and pages. For example, so name of a book can be of character type, price can be in float and pages are integer type. After that, we have created a variable b, and b is what? Array, and data type is what? Book. So an array b is created whose size is what? 100, has data type book. So in this way, we can create array of structures. Data type of array is structure. So how this will store data? This will store data in the form of name, price and pages, because data type is a structure. So if we want to enter the data of 100 books, so what we will do? The first choice is to declare 100 structure type variables and store data one by one in each structure type variable. And second method is to declare an array of a structure type, and it will store data in a form of list. A record has been created which will contain 100 entries, and each 100 entry will have 3 different fields, that is name, price and pages. So within the for loop, we have written enter name, price and pages and scanf and bi.name, bi.price and bi.pages. As value of I will change, the data entry will change. Means first of all, value of I is what? It is 0. So first entry will be created as b0.name, b0.price, b0.pages. That is the first entry, or we can say entry of first book. Next, value of I is updated by 1. I will become 1. Now value of I is 1. So now entries will be stored at 1 index. b1.name, b1.price, b1.pages. Means this kind of code will create a structure of this type. That is name, price and pages. And how entries are being done? With the help of array B. So B0, B1, B2 and so on, like this. So this kind of record will be created while we are executing this code. And in similar way, we can print the record with the help of the loop for I equal to 0 less than equal to 99, and using the printf statement where we have writing vi.name, vi.price and vi.pages. So this kind of record will get printed. So this is the property of a structure only, that we can create data in the form of record. Array creates data in the form of column only. If we are using simple arrays, data will be presented in the column wise only. Means first array is of name, for second array is for pages, third array is for price. But as we have declared array of type structure, it is inculcating the properties of structure also, which shows it will create a record, means three lists are merged now. That is name, price and pages. So we will see a complete record for the books. Next, structure provides some other additional features apart from this property that is discussed in the previous slide. This is the assignment operator usage. Means with the help of assignment operator, we can copy the content of one structure variable to the other variable. For example, if I take the structure employee may contain name, age and salary. Structure has been defined. Now I create two different variables E1 and E2 and E3. So struct employee E1 is equals to Sanjay 30 5500, means name, age and salary. Next two variables of employee type E2 and E3 are declared. Now first method to copy the contents of E1 to E2 is this. That is, using with the help of a string copy command, we can copy the string that is name, E1.name to E2.name. E2.age is equals to E1.age. Means field by field we can copy the contents of date, one variable to another variable. Second thing is, we can directly write E3 is equals to E2, which means all the contents of E2 will be transferred to E3. But all the three fields data will be transferred, not a single field. This particular statement means all the field data will be transferred to E3. So now after this we can print E1, E2, E3 and all will yield same result, that is Sanjay 30 and 5500. Next, we can also perform nesting within the structure. Means we can call structure type variable within another structure. So as we can see, we have created an address type structure. Within this we have phone, city and PIN number. Now another structure employee has been created, which contains character type name and a variable A whose data type is address. This is nesting of a structure. Means we are declaring a variable of different structure within another structure. That is nesting. Now how to assign values to this address type structure? With the help of dot operator. Means if I want to store data in name, how I will write? I will write as written here. I will simply use this. This is the direct initialization. Now, if I want to store data with the help of employee type variable, in that particular case, what I will do, if I create a variable E1, in that case, E1 dot name will take direct value. Second, for address structure, how I will input name, E1 dot A dot phone, E1 dot A dot city, and so on. So in this way, we can input data within the structure. So this is all about structure. I think topic is clear to you all. These are the reference books from where I have taken the data. We will continue in the next slide. Thank you.